All right, you're welcome into the locker room for the final time this working week. This is the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1, where we love music and we love life. We love sports as well. That is why we get into the locker room on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:15 a.m. My name is Ayokunmi. Welcome into the world of sports. It's going to be an interesting Friday. Looking forward to the weekend and taking a look back at what's been happening in the last 24 hours or thereabouts. So it's going to be one of those days. All right. Joining me to take a look at the stories, analyze, of course, share the banter around because banter is a very key part of what we do in the locker room. The one and only Tega Supreme. Tega, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank God it's Friday. Does my
So
voice sound nasal or is it just my ears?
a little bit.
Yeah, forgive us. Forgive us. We are struggling with some things, but yeah, we're able to make it in today. What is happening this weekend? So there's some people goods, in Saudi. They are warning them. See, they're even shaking finger and pointing finger into their right eye. We'll talk about that inside the locker room. I was going to say we'll talk about the Super Bowl, but hey, we'll talk about it on Monday. Bad Bunny is performing at halftime. What does Bad Bunny sing? Does he
He
sing?
does when he does when he Grammy you.
For
He does when
what
he
now?
Grammy
Many people want Grammy.
album
There,
of the
there's some
year.
people that want Grammy. I'm like, is that a song?
Are we joking? Grammy winner, please don't play, don't play. Even though I don't know any of his
Please.
songs, but don't play, please.
Which leads us to where we are going to, because there's just so much going on. They're like, oh, he won the Grammy. I'm like, for what? I don't know anything. Gone are the days when I used to know half the songs, but hey, we'll look out for that halftime performance. However, yes, the Super Bowl is coming up, so we'll talk about that. We never really talk about the Super Bowl concerning the football itself. We talk about the Super Bowl concerning the halftime, the atmosphere, and all the drama. Isn't that interesting?
Mm.
So yeah, that's coming up this weekend. So in case you're interested in American football, get ready to stay up. What else is happening this weekend? Manchester City, Liverpool. That one
Hmm.
is taking place this weekend. Manchester United, Tottenham. And then the famous, now newly renamed Shaka Derby, Arsenal, Sunderland. So a lot of that's what it's called now, is the Shaka Derby. So a lot
Hmm.
of matches coming up this weekend. All of that and more we'll be talking about inside the locker room. Before we do any talking, Ayokumi, tell us, how can we be a part of the locker room today?
Alrighty, come one, come all. Join us in the locker room. Join us on the show. Share your thoughts, your perspectives. Share the banter as well. Here, you're most welcome. WhatsApp and YouTube are up and running. YouTube, you can find us streaming live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Leave your comments there. Leave your comments on WhatsApp as well on 0911 999 0981 0911 999 0981. Felix, I see you already. Welcome into the show. All right, let's begin. As Tega said, we're talking about Asun in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Pro League has warned Cristiano Ronaldo that no individual, however significant, determines decisions beyond their own club amid doubts over his future at Al Nassr. This tension is tensioning out there, Tega.
In fact, the fact that a player can determine the outcome in his club is a problem to me. Um, but but I like the fact that they are drawing boundaries. That okay, for your club you can determine, for outside the other clubs you can't determine, and that's because I told you guys the Saudi league is structured a little differently, and so the money is coming from one fund. So usually, if Arsenal wants to buy a player, the money is coming from Arsenal, not from the English Premier League.
Mm,
You get that part.
yeah.
With the Saudi league, it's a little different. They are all using the PIF fund, and so regardless of which team is buying a player, it's coming from one purse. And so Cristiano Ronaldo's strike, let me put it that way, has been that Al Hilal or all have has seemed to have gotten favorable transfers done as opposed to his club, that hasn't gotten favorable transfers done. So he's saying that they're they're not doing his club well, and so that's what his strike is about. And the league is now telling him that look, Oga, We already paid too much money for you. So don't come here and be talking too much. you can you cannot determine you cannot tell us how to spend our money. That's the
Yes,
bottom
sir.
line. That's what they're telling him. You may be a big name player, but you cannot tell us how to spend our money. But ultimately, that's what it is. He's trying to tell the PIF that look, don't if you're spending, spend the money, across board equally. Um, and the league is like we are the ones that are looking at the paper, and we know whether the investment is distributed evenly. You can't determine how else we distribute the investments. So that I think that's where both of them are at this point in time. But for Cristiano Ronaldo, there's some things you need to do. I always tell people if you want to have upper hand, do the work you need to do, and then you can use that to
As
fight for what
leverage.
you need to fight for. Yes. Otherwise, you're just barking in the wind.
Hmm. Just bucket in the wind. Well, let's see if this impasse will actually be sorted out and dealt with. I mean, he was left out of Al Nassr squad for Monday's league game against Al Riyadh. Hmm. Who's going to win this one? Well, from one man who is being warned to another man who seems to have found a new lease of life. We're heading to La Liga, or Spain specifically, where Ademola Lookman starred on his debut for Atletico Madrid, scoring and assisting in a 5-0 demolition of Real Betis on Thursday to seal a place in the Copa del Rey semi-finals.
Yes, so the Copa del Rey is going on, and Atletico Madrid just wants to get their hand on one title, any title, just to make their lives better. And the Copa del Rey, they're still going strong there. Real Madrid has fallen out of that. It's only Barcelona that's left. So Copa del Rey is one of the trophies that Diego Simeone is looking at and saying this would be it. Remember, Ademola Lookman just recently transferred from Atalanta to Atletico Madrid, and I was telling people that the important reason is that Atletico Madrid needs goal scorers at the end of the
Right.
day. So Ademola Lookman literally hops off a plane from Italy and gets onto the pitch because he started this match against Real Betis. Scored the third goal, assisted Antoine Griezmann to score the fourth goal. The match ended 5-0 and they're through to the next round. So already looking like he has teamed up with his teammates well, and they're beginning to understand each other. And that's what you want to do when you get to a new club. Just hit the ground running with
Exactly.
assists, with goals. Just put in the performance, and then from there, people start looking for you with the ball. So the minute he was able to get that goal and then the assist, you know that life has started to start good for him in Madrid. But let's see how it works out for them as it goes on. So far, it looks great for Ademola Lookman and Atletico Madrid. Let's see if this relationship will continue all through.
Well, we can only hope. If a fantastic start for both parties involved. Just looking to what's going to happen this weekend and toward the rest of the season. Now, let us walk into England and talk about the big one this weekend. Well, Liverpool are very much eager to showcase how far they have progressed when they face second place Manchester City in the Premier League at Anfield on Sunday after losing 3-0 to them in November. That's according to their manager, and the slot was speaking on Thursday.
Yeah, so if you're still looking at the head to head, at this point in time, you'd say, oh, Liverpool are ahead. But in recent time, it hasn't been exactly like that. Both teams have had their ebbs and their flows. So Manchester City won the last meeting. Prior to that, there was a draw. It's not Was it a draw or a Liverpool win, and then there was a draw. So it's not like there's one team outstanding. But here's what's interesting about this fixture. Liverpool have had their share of struggles this season, and so have Manchester City. And that's what makes this finely poised this weekend. Now, Liverpool, if you are looking at the trajectory of the Liverpool team, they seem to have started growing, maybe not significantly better, but they seem to have started growing or progressing better towards the favorable parts of the form that they need. Unlike
Hmm.
Manchester City, who put in a good result today, put in a horrible result tomorrow. They're flowing like my power supply. One time you have
Man
very good power supply, the next time you will not see light for a day.
City's
And
on
so
Banji.
I'm telling you, I'm on band. Whatever happens, take it like that. But yeah, that's where Manchester City are right now. Liverpool's progression has been one foot in front of the other, and Manchester's. you can't even call it progress because it's one step forward, two step backwards, and that's what sets this one up to be interesting. And now they're playing in Anfield. Manchester City won their own match at home. Liverpool want to win their own match in Liverpool, and with all their players looking good and better, it's going to be a tough one for Manchester City. I think they're without Bernardo Silva. They might as well be without Erling Haaland because he's not been scoring the goals that they require. But
Uh,
um,
uh,
what did I say? That is a lie. Has he been scoring the goals that they need?
but at least on the pitch, you have 11 players on like one team in one white team in London that they have only
we,
10
we will
players.
get to that team. We will get to that team. But so Erling Haaland has not been as prolific as usual. But Omar Mamouche did score 2 goals against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah. Shirky is also doing a fantastic job from midfield. So let's see how Randes also scored in the Carabao Cup. So let's see how it pans out. It'll be interesting to see this matchup. Salah, who used to be one of the biggest thorns in Manchester City's side, also hasn't had a very great season. Whether it was for club or for country, his season has been really questionable. And so all the names you expect to watch out for to shine on the day haven't, in the build up to this match at least, they haven't been the names shining for their teams. But let's see what they will do in this match because this fixture tends to bring out heroes, and the heroes tends to be names that we already know. So let's see if Salah will come back here or Erling Haaland will come back here. But it's interesting the way this match has been set up. I cannot categorically say Man City will walk away with all the points or Liverpool will walk away with all the points. And that's what you want to watch in a big match day.
that's exactly what you want to watch in a big match day. And for Manchester City, they cannot afford to drop any more points whatsoever if they intend to chase down Arsenal and pip them to the Premier League title. It'll be a very interesting weekend of football. Let's take a brief pause. When we get back in, we shall be having a conversation about African football, women's football specifically, and Banyana, some developments coming out of there. That and so much more on the other side. Keep it up, keep up with us. This is the Locker Room on Smooth 98.1.
Ah, my
Hey,
brother.
no, no be small thing.
Get to enjoy the best of world music from around, both local and international, here on Smooth 98.1. The Cashback, every weekday from 12 p.m. Hello, this is Jessica Bongos, and you're listening to the smoothest jam on Lagos Radio for good quality music. 98.1.
Yes, indeed, our lives make sense because you keep everything locked on here. This is Smooth 98.1. We love music, we love life. You know, we love sports as well. It's 31 minutes past 8 a.m. on a feel good Friday morning. Ayokunmi here with you in the locker room. Tega Supreme also with me on this one. We're having a great time, great morning talking about what's been going on in the world of sports. It's been a football field sort of show, and that trend is going to continue. But before we kick on, just to let you know how you can join us on the show this morning to share your perspectives with us, your messages, the banter as well. It's very welcome. WhatsApp number is 0911 981 999 Join us on YouTube at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can leave your comments there as well. Looking forward to reading them. All right, Tega, let's dive back into the stories this morning. And as I mentioned, we'll be talking about Banyana, where their coach, Dr. Desiree Ellis, has unveiled a 38-player squad for an alignment camp that will run through the COSAFA Women's Championship and into the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. And this camp begins on February 13 as the African champions prepare for a crucial year on its international stage.
Yes, so we're talking about the African Cup of Nations. So far, officially, Morocco is still hosting. Officially, it's still starting on the 17th of March. All right. Those are the two official announcements I wanted to give. But Bayana brought out a list that is causing a stir in South Africa. So they have a player, a striker, who just won the Player of the Year and the highest goal scorer of the year, but she
Hmm.
didn't make the list.
That's odd.
And this is a 38-man list, is what I'm trying to make. That's why there's an uproar. It's a 38-man list, but your best player of the season and the highest goal scorer in the season is not on this list. And so people are people are not asking. So what are we doing here? We understand that you put your trust in Thebe Kadlana. We understand that Thembi Kadlana is one of the best players out of Africa. We like that. But if you have a 38-man list that you're still going to whittle down, and your player of the season and your highest goal scorer of the season is not there, then what's the problem? Because now it's no longer about, oh, we can only take a certain number of players. You practically open camp,
Exactly.
and you still and you still need to invite this person. They're like, okay, what do you want? What is the
Could,
problem?
could it be that
We are still
there's things going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to, because it's so weird that this would happen.
exactly. So that I think that's the question we are waiting for Disraelis to answer, but she hasn't answered us. And so we wait to see what she say about that, because everybody else that won an award that end of year, from goalkeeper to defender, they are on the list. Apart from this girl. So
Hmm.
is it that you don't trust that she's a team player? You don't think she'll do well? Let her. We're waiting for the answers, but those are the questions right now moving around in South Africa. They invited almost 40 players. It's different if you're not taking her to the tournament, but it's another thing if you're not even taking her to this camp that you even opened to all and sundry. So what can be the problem? We wait to hear from Desiree. But hey, what can I say? The strongest teams at this tournament will be Morocco, South Africa, and Nigeria. And if there's trouble in the opponent's camp, we are happy. We are, as we are here for the 11th.
Let there be some disarray in the opposing camp.
You know?
It clears our way going forward. But I just want to believe that there's some issues that are brewing behind the scenes that maybe I don't know. It could be disciplinary issues. It could be a problem between player. I don't know. But but to have a player of the year, top goal scorer, not making a 38-man list. No. No, there's something fishy there. But I'm pretty sure that what is hidden will be revealed eventually,
Soon.
very, very soon. All right, let's head back to England, and that team in London. I said I have 10 players. We'll talk about them right now. Tottenham Hotspur manager Thomas Frank said on Thursday that Christian Romero's outspoken social media comments about the club's transfer policy has been dealt with internally, as he refused to confirm if the Spurs skipper had been disciplined.
Well, he was asked during the press conference before the big match tomorrow. Manchester United is taking on Tottenham. And so he was asked during the press conference, and that kind of outburst, especially, remember when we spoke about it, coming from the captain of the team, can tend to put a team in disarray. That has there been any punishment meted out to him? What's the punishment? Is he going to miss the match? Because remember, they had only 11 players for Manchester City. He was one of the 11, and he was playing
Hmm,
carrying an eagle. So they're like, if they suspended him, that means people have only 10 players. so,
exactly.
so so those are the questions they're asking. But he's refused to answer, like most managers would not. I mean, some managers will say certain things, but he's not one of those. He's one of those with all those locker room etiquettes. And he said, look, he's being dealt with internally. That means mind your business. That's usually what that yes, that's what that translates into. Mind your business. Not
Mind your business. It doesn't concern you at all. I can't actually
Sorry,
speak for.
can you? Yeah, I was lost a minute. So
Yeah, I
yes,
was.
that just
Go on, Tega,
you
go
were
on.
saying.
No,
No, go ahead. You were saying.
I was saying that the fact that Thomas Frank made that comment, I want to believe that something has happened behind the scenes, but he's just not, in the mood, or should I say, willing to have a discussion about it. Maybe just to shut the whole thing down and kill the whole narrative, probably.
I mean, look, any more stories, any more comments will distract from the issue at hand. So he doesn't want to shine the spotlight on those unnecessary things. That's what it is. It's as simple as that. Even if something is happening behind, do you want to come and say, "Oh, he's been punished" or "his pay has been deducted"? Then people will start asking, "But what he said, is it true or is it a lie? Why hasn't this?" So there'll be more conversation. There'll be more trouble from giving too much information than there will be from just saying, "You know what, everybody mind your business." So it's better to just say, "Mind your business." Um,
Hmm.
anyways, some people still went ahead to ask him questions. So they're like, what did he really mean by what he said? Was he saying that the club is not doing well? He was like, anything you want to know, ask Romero. Don't ask me.
You have his phone number.
So
Call him.
you know where he is. You can come and meet him after training. All those kind of things. So he's just like, bottom line, he just wanted everybody should just leave me alone. Let's focus on the match between Manchester United, and which is what it is. Um, Manchester United's match is the one that is key. Now, remember, Michael Carrick has an unbeaten run coming into this, and some of the scalps he has taken: Arsenal, Manchester City, and high flying Fulham. Actually, Arsenal and high flying Fulham with some great late goals to take all 3 points. Now you're talking about them coming into a game against Tottenham Hotspur, who are 15th on the table. 14th or
14th.
15th on the table. 14th, yes.
14th.
Still 14th, still struggling. Yes, they came back with a 2-all draw against Manchester City, but Manchester City is one of those teams they seem to have found the password to their team. And so, whichever form of Tottenham team meets Manchester City, they tend to give them trouble. So that's not it, because prior to that, they lost 3-2 against Bournemouth. So when you look at the form and the position on the table of Tottenham Hotspur coming into this match, and then you look at that of Manchester United, you have no choice but to say that this is clearly advantage Manchester United, especially with the way Manchester United is playing. But the thing is, Tottenham will put out their best. And so that's what we hope to see. They will give it their best, and we wait to see how they'll perform on the day. But the fact that they're struggling with fitness of players, number one, and mounting injuries, number two, and Manchester City United are playing the most brilliant football we've seen them play in a while, it's going to be a tough ask for Tottenham to pull off a surprise. But that's why it's football. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. And Man United have a big axe to grab with Spurs. Haven't beaten Spurs since 2022. So if there's any bigger incentive to win a match against Tottenham Hotspur, definitely it's this one with the top four and everything on the card. So looking forward to that game over the weekend. All right, let's jump from England and head over to
First
Spain.
match on Saturday.
Well, early kickoff. The Lord be with us all. It's all I can say at this point in time. Let's talk about Real Madrid, where their coach Alvaro Arbeloa and his star striker Kylian Mbappe agree on at least one thing ahead of Sunday's visit to Valencia in La Liga: that there is need for consistency, which they haven't had in a bit.
Yeah, so he was talking about, they're asking him questions because they face Valencia now. The good news for them is that any form of Valencia is susceptible to a Real Madrid side. And Valencia sits 16th on the table, so not a very high flying side. They've had their own troubles. Um, but it's just 1 point between Real Madrid and Barcelona, and Real Madrid are looking, to take advantage of that part, because Barcelona is playing Mallorca. Mallorca are 14th on the table, but they are a higher performing side than Valencia is. So Real Madrid just believes that, look, if Barcelona slips up, we'll be there to sit on top of the table. Um, the thing for them is that the truth of the matter is, I like what he's saying, that they're not looking at magic, they're looking at consistency. Because what it seems that this team is living on is the brilliance of its players, the quality of its players as opposed to most of the opposition. Because if you remember last weekend against Rayo Vallecano, it took a last minute brain fart from Monday for Real Madrid to get a penalty and then score that and win that match by 2-1. They were on the verge of dropping points in that match. So, again, it came down to the brilliance and the quality of the players that they had as opposed to the quality of the players that the opposition has. And so he's saying, look, what we just want is consistency. We don't want all our players waving their magic wands. We don't want brilliant moments to get us. We want to have a style, a form that is a structure that is able to give us consistent results. And I like the fact that both players and coaches are looking at that. The question is, are the players not even too powerful at this point in time for any coach to come and tell them what to do?
Right. This player power thing.
If the coach
Oh,
says it moves like this, and the player says no, it moves like that, how will there be consistency? They'll fire him and bring somebody else that's more malleable. So
and keep
those are the issues. But yes, right now it seems Real Madrid is dependent solely on the brilliance of their players.
and that is something that is not sustainable long term. Yes, flashes here and there, but it's not a strategy to use on a long term basis. Well, time to take your messages, a number of them here. This is Felix from Mende, Maryland in Lagos, who says, good morning, Mr. Ayokunmi and Madam Tega Supreme. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, indeed. The EPL weekend fixtures will be so interesting. Lookman played so well with Atletico Madrid. I hope Real Madrid keeps up the momentum. Thanks. Thank you for your message. AY from Maniru says, Benzema and Lookman hitting the ground running at their respective new clubs. That's what you call instant impact. Abi? Benzema with a hat-trick on his own debut. All right, this is from Tayo. Tayo Inaja says, a summary of Saudi football. Ademola has hit the ground running. Uh, okay, sorry. Ademola has hit the ground running. Simeone had to briefly walk off after his goal because he wasn't familiar with his game. Tega, the problem with South African women football is an advantage to the competition. Please let them fight. Ayo, Man United is not Man City, or is it?
It's a let them fight.
Well, red and blue are different colors, Tayo. And then says Real Madrid is a political party. I'm beginning to believe that at the moment. Mohammed says Tega CR7 is doing his own part of scoring the goals, but the management seems not to be giving Al Nasser the quality of the other clubs like Al Hilal and Al Ali are getting. You have remembered Al Nassr is not the traditional big team in Saudi like Al Hilal, Al Ali, and Al Ittihad. Well, as for Lukman, the guy is a baller and humble, which is why his AFCON performance resulted in this big transfer. Simeone brought Lukman for the X factor for him to win trophies. Osimhen has to change his attitude. Okay. Emeka Onilum says, Arsenal prepare for more tears from our rivals as we extend our lead to 9 points. They've come. Oh, they've come
You have to
again.
beat Sunderland first now. You have to beat You see all this bragging.
I've noticed we have a lot of enemies, especially on social media, with with so much banter and abuse. We should pray we don't win a major trophy. If not, we'll go full John Wick all over that social media, especially that Red Manchester club. They will be our first victim. I don't even understand. Do it first. Do it first. Do it first. Then Biggie from Kitsu says, if Man United can comfortably beat Spurs without drawing the game, only then can I believe that Carrick is on the wheel. Tottenham has beaten Man United in the previous season, and Thomas Frank, motivate your boys to victory. Come on, you Spurs. Not these Spurs. Sporting. Let me go to YouTube. Badri Bayo says, the Liverpool City match this weekend is one for the bookies. Both teams in faltering form. Holland and Salah both misfiring. For FPL people like me, we have learned to do without Holland. This is it. Don't sell him or you can bench, but don't even bench him. Start him. It's Holland. Come on, Badri. Uchida Wokoye says, I heard the same people own the three clubs in Saudi and invest more in other clubs than in Ronaldo's club. City versus Liverpool, mouth-watering. United, please make it 4 in a row. Let's chase down Arsenal. See, this is what it's 12 points now. Let's calm down. It's 12 points. Relax. Olumahewa Shadari says Carrick has been nominated for the manager of the month. He is going to win. And then further says, look up what happened to the managers that won the award this season. I don't want to think about it anyway. we need to wrap it up. Thank you all for the messages.
All
Tega, take us
right.
home.
Thank you so much for the messages. On that note, thank you so much for sending us messages via WhatsApp. Thank you for streaming on YouTube. And thank you for tuning into Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to The Locker Room. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms on IG, on X,
That's correct. On IG,
and on
you can find us at
Facebook.
Smooth 981X. It's Smooth 981 FM. Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes, yes.
On that note, remember what we do this weekend. Cross your fingers on both hands and pray that your team is not fodder for banter. Have a fantastic weekend.
Have a great weekend, Tega. Do take care of yourself. And thank you for being a part of the locker room this morning here on Smooth 98.1. Your messages make it all the more exciting. My name is Ayokunmi. Keep it tuned to the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. Woo! We made it.